On the river. We're going to do a Curtis Hennings song called How the Fields Have Grown. It's a metaphor because we are the fields, right? When it started, well, how it would go. There's something about this old place, and I just want to go. How the fields have grown, how the fields have grown, how the fields have grown, they've grown in time. Just like seeds, and we were thrown to the wind. Each season reminds us now of how new life begins. How the fields have grown, how the fields have grown, how the fields have grown, they've grown in time. Angel shepherd has parted, but we're still standing as one. Sowed the seeds of love inside, well, each and every one. How the fields have grown, how the fields have grown, how the fields have grown, they've grown in time. Never did we wander, never did we roam. Stood upon this fertile soil till our new shepherd came home. How the fields have grown, how the fields have grown, how the fields have grown, they've grown in time. Who knew when we started how it would go? Know there's something about this old place, and I just want to go. How the fields have grown, how the fields have grown, how the fields have grown, they've grown in time. Now come and watch us grow. Now come and watch us grow. Come and watch us grow.
Thank you so much. Welcome to Unity on the River. If you are comfortable, please stay standing and join hands with the person next to you. This is surely the presence.
Let us pray. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place because your presence is in this place. Each and every one of you who come here as the very embodiment of the divine. You are the hands, the feet, the face, the voice, most importantly and above all else, the heart of God. You're the joy of God. You are God made visible. And to stand beside you, walk beside you, grow with you is a humbling and magnificent experience. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being my inspiration. Thank you for being God made real. And so it is. So let it be. Amen. Amen. You may have a seat. Good morning. I am Reverend Ogun Holder, senior minister here. So thrilled to have you join us on this absolutely perfect summer morning. It's Volunteer Appreciation Day. We're going to be eating outside afterwards. We could not have scripted a better weather day. We're only, it's going to rain tomorrow. You're like a day off. Timing is everything. It is so gorgeous outside. You all look gorgeous. Thank you for showing up in all your gorgeousness. And as we like to say here, if we want to see the true face of God, the beauty of God, the gorgeousness of God, you just turn to the face of another. So look to someone and say, God looks good today. God looks good today. And God looks especially good today in the form of this person who at the last minute stepped in and said, we had a cancellation for a facilitator day, and Gina, I just call it, Gina, can you help me out? She's like, sure, I'll do it. So thank you, Gina. Thank you.
So good morning. Welcome to Unity on the River this morning. I'm Gina Genest. I'll be facilitating this morning's service. I'd like to welcome the live streamers. Unity live streams our service, so could everybody give a little wave over there? Thank you. We also want to welcome anybody who's here for the first time. Is anybody here today for the first time? If you are, raise your hand, as our ushers will bring you a welcome packet. Keep your hand up a second. We have someone here. Anybody else? If you bring that welcome packet, there's a card in there. You fill it out, and you go through those doors after service today. There's a spiritual resource center back there, and you can bring the card there, and people will answer questions. Also, you got a flower, and that flower will give you 10% off in the bookstore today if you bring it over there. It's an awesome bookstore. So, we bless you. We thank you for being here. Please know we welcome all paths to God. Your being here with us today enriches all of our experience. Unity on the River is a center of celebration and transformation, inspiration, spirit-centeredness, oneness, and joy. Please hold these truths in your heart as we say together our mission statement. We are a vibrant spiritual community that celebrates the presence in all and awakens humanity to its divinity. And also our vision statement, Centered in love, we joyously co-create a world of oneness, peace, and harmony. I have some announcements this morning. Today is Volunteer Appreciation Day for those who have contributed their time to volunteer within the past year. Please enjoy the celebration right after service out in the Meditation Garden. This event will be hosted by Frank Barron, and that's for anybody, not just the green sticker people. So please feel free to go through those doors. We also have, Rama Inacio will be here at Unity on the River on July 31. Come enjoy Healing Current Meditative Prayer at 5 p.m. and Archangel Michael and Archaea Faith Attunement at 7. I'm told there are only 7 spots left, so please sign up online. There had been another workshop scheduled with Paul Nason, scheduled for July 30, but this will not be taking place. He is here today if you want to catch up with him about that. And any additional announcements we have, they are listed on the insert that tucked into your bulletin. You can read them there, or you can visit us on our website at www.unityonthe.river.org for all of our upcoming classes and offerings. And now is the time in our service where we greet each other in love and connect with each other. We say namaste with either a handshake or a hug and say, I invite you to say, I see you, I see your beauty, I see your magnificence, I see the divine in you. All right.
I'm afraid in spite of the might of the power of love. Something inside is yearning and emerging to be born. All that would stop me and all that I know, where I'm obliged with so little to show. But on a good day I remember and I feel the whispers of heaven. On a good day I remember and I feel the whispers of heaven and the power of love. I rejoice in the light and the might of the power of love. Something inside is yearning and emerging, being born. And all that could stop me will suddenly show, where I won't be obliged when I need to let go. And on a good day I remember and I feel the whispers of heaven. On a good day I remember, I feel the whispers of heaven and the power of love. He will suddenly show where I am healing anytime that I grow. And on a good day, I remember I feel the whisper of heaven. On a good day, I remember I feel the whispers of heaven and the power of love. Thank you.
Thank you, Maura. Thank you, Alex. Good to see you, man. How you been? It's been a while. All right. How's everybody doing today? Great. I want to start, and I know some of you are probably going to have a little bit of a, what do you call it, school flashbacks. Pop quiz time. A little pop quiz. I like to see, if any of this is sinking in with you. Just check. So last week I started this series talking about absolute abundance, and I introduced a couple of concepts last week and before. So let's see who's keeping up. Okay, don't worry, this is not a pass-fail thing. This is even optional participation. No one's ever told you that for a pop quiz, right? Optional participation. So I introduced to you last week, or I reminded you last week, that this idea of when we misuse our power of imagination. What do we call that? Worry. Yes, worry. Worry is when we misuse, again, our power. We think of the worst. We imagine the worst. That's what worry is. But there's hope. First of all, why do we worry? There's something like almost like genetically, evolutionary implanted in us that causes us to worry. Remember what that's called? Lots of good names. Lots of good names. The one I used last week, what's that? Negativity bias. I'm hearing some feedback there, Brian. Is that all right? You on it? Cool. Negativity bias. When we give more weight to the negative thoughts and less weight to the positive ones, even though all things being equal, they're the same. But we have this tendency to give more weight and look for those things that are going bad because it's kind of like a survival instinct. As Mickey was yelling, it's a whole amygdala thing. So yes, partial credit. That's from several talks ago. See, nice. I love it. Mickey's keeping up. But there is hope because we can retrain our brain to shift from negativity to positivity bias. And what were the two things I shared last week that you can do?
Be grateful.
Gratitude and
Ice cream.
you can give gratitude for the ice cream. I will not deny the fact that ice cream is a mood shifter. I'm not going to argue that fact. But gratitude, another G word, given, right? Gratitude and given. It helps shift that because when we give, we realize that everything we have and everything we are has what? Value. Yes. My time was not in vain. Excellent, people. Excellent. So today we're going to continue that a little bit with two other concepts that will help us shift this into this place of, from negativity bias to maybe a constant state of positivity bias. And those two things are commitment and consciousness. Commitment and consciousness. What do I mean by commitment? I forgot my clicker. Can you click for me? There we go. She's on top of it already. Commitment. Doing the thing you said you were going to do long after the mood you said it in has left you. I see some can relate. But this is what we suffer from in all areas of our life. I too guilty as charged. We get all excited about, let's narrow it down a little bit. Let's just talk about here in spiritual community and like unity specifically. Like I remember some of us, like when we first get into unity, it is like the mega weight has lifted. It's like, oh my God, I'm so excited. I have found this place. The music is hopping. I love the teachings. You mean there's no God judging me and like I can create I am in charge. Like we get so excited, we get jazzed. And then that initial euphoria might wear off and we go, oh wait, you mean I'm actually in charge of my own thoughts and experience? Like, really? And then some of us, again, I'll throw myself under the bus. There was a time when I was like, can I just go back to the old way? Like, that seemed a lot easier when I could, blame the mystery of God for messing up my life. This must have been God's plan, so, I'm not at fault. It seemed a lot easier back then when I didn't have to be the one motivated and pushing myself to keep practicing the things that I knew were working. But that's what commitment is all about. Commitment is saying, you know what? No matter what feeling I have around this. And this is where I like to caution people about feelings. I have no problem with feelings. I love feelings. Feelings feel great. Let's go about feelings. And a lot of times in spiritual experiences and communities, we put a lot of heavy emphasis on the feeling of things. Okay? That's good, except when it's not. Sometimes our feelings can hijack us, especially the negative feelings. And when our negative feelings hijack us, that's the thing that makes us run away from commitment. I don't know if people still use the saying, but back in the Unity days, when I was a little Unity youngster of like 10 years ago, we used to call it the revolving door of Unity. You come in, you're all excited, like, yeah, and then you realize you actually got to keep practicing the principles. And then you're like, I'm back out. And then life goes upheaval, and you remember, I remember these great teachings from Unity. Maybe I should go back. And you come back, and you're here, and you're excited. It's like, yes, why did I ever leave? And then you're gone again because the commitment thing of showing up and practicing and all that, and then you leave again, and then, rinse and repeat. The revolving door of Unity, Remember that Twilight Zone episode when the dude kept trying to leave in the revolving door of the hotel, and every time he left, he came back in? Wasn't that Twilight Zone? Okay. I'm like the youngest person here. How do I remember this? Too much TV, I know. Too much TV. So, revolving door of Unity. Revolving door of Unity. But commitment is the thing that stops that. Commitment is the thing that says, you know what, in the face of whatever, how I feel, how my feelings are trying to hijack me, even though I know I'm practicing these things and something crazy still shows up in my life, you're not going to abandon the teachings. Because the commitment is the thing that shifts that negativity bias to positivity bias. And it's a rewiring of our habitual thoughts. We are such habitual creatures, we don't even realize it. I'll give you an example of this. All right, there's a little experiment I want everyone to participate in, and you're gonna need your hands free. So if you're holding anything, put stuff down. And on the count of 3, I want you to clap 5 times. Okay, let me demonstrate. Just simple 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ready? On the count of 3. Oh, wait, I forgot one step. On the 5th clap, keep your hands together. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like this. Got it? 1, 2, 3. Thank you. I'm here all week. I'm just kidding. Let's do it one more time. It's the easiest way to get an ovation, I'm telling you, just so people clap their hands. All right. On the count of 3 again, clap 5 times and hold your hands together. 1, 2, 3. Now look at your hands. Keep them together and look at them. One of the things you will realize is that, like, one thumb's over the next, or if your hand's like this, one hand's over the other. This is probably the way you always clap, where your dominant hand is likely the one that ends up over the top of your non-dominant hand. Now, I want you to clap again, but this time switch them. So like for me, my right hand kind of always goes into my left. So for me, do it so that the left goes into the right. Okay? Am I making sense? Yep. So that when you end, the other thumb is over the top. 5 times. 1, 2, 3. How weird did that feel? A little weird, right? Yeah, it's a little weird because now we're asking our hands to do something different from what they've always done. This is what commitment is. This is what these spiritual practices are all the time. You're asking yourself, your thoughts, your beliefs to do something different from what we are usually doing. We're asking our minds, we're asking ourselves to shift the positivity bias instead of the negativity bias. And it's weird sometimes. And it's even weirder when we think we've got the hang of it and something happens and we revert back once again. It's even weirder when we are here in spiritual community and let's say we step up into like service or commitment and we're doing this and all of a sudden something happens because somebody says something that upsets us even though they didn't mean it to, or something didn't go our way, and then what happens? We're like, oh, yeah, and revolving door again. Here's something to think about. We come here as part of this spiritual community, and we come on Sundays. Other times during the week, we hear a speaker like myself or Michael Murdad or some of the, all the other hundreds of people who've graced the stage. And we come here. But what if the true opportunity for you to evolve spiritually is not to be found by a speaker on the stage? What if it's about everything else that happens in this community off the stage? What if it's about when you come to serve and you find difficulties? What if it's about someone in the community says something that pushes a button, challenges you? What if you had a great idea and nobody listened? What if, fill in the blank? I want to tell you a true story. This really did happen, and it saddened me to no end. But I want to share it with you because sometimes we don't know. We don't know sometimes when we say things that may inadvertently cause pain to another. Sometimes we don't know. Earlier this week, I ran into someone who comes here often, Sunday mornings, sometimes on Wednesday nights. And I ran into him, and he was standing in tears. And I was like, well, what's happening? What's going on? Did you get some bad news? What's going on? And he said that he was here one Sunday, and something happened to him that was uncomfortable in that he was, let's just say, he was a little disruptive in service. He was a little disruptive in service because something that was said that, and he was really worried about a friend of his, and he got a little disruptive. And then a few days later, someone said to him, "We don't want you here." Yeah. We don't want you here. And then, to make it worse, they threw me under the bus. No one throws me under the bus but me. That's my job. But they said, and when other people tell Reverend Ogun, he's going to be clear that you can't come back here. And I can't tell you that within the next 30 seconds, I was crying with him. I was crying with him. That hurt me so much. That hurt me. Where's our commitment to when we are uncomfortable for some reason in this community, we stay and we walk through it to come to the other side? It's so easy to run. It's so easy to tell another, you are not welcome here because we are uncomfortable. But that's not what commitment is. That's not what spiritual transformation is. That's not what a welcome and open community is. And I said to this individual, let me be clear, our doors are always open. Our doors are always open. Can you come in and create a ruckus in the middle of the service? Probably not, but our doors are always open. And no one has the right to tell you that you don't belong here. No one. Not even me. Not even me. This is what commitment is. And when we rise up to meet that commitment, guess who's going to be showing up there? Not who, but what? Spirit, God, providence will meet us there at the point of our commitment. There's a Scottish mountaineer. His name is William Murray. Let's go to the next slide. And he says, until one is committed, there is hesitancy, the chance to draw back. And you can't really see it, but I'll read it all. It said, concerning all acts of initiative and creation, there is one elementary truth, the ignorance of which kills countless ideas and splendid plans. The moment one definitely commits oneself, providence moves too. Providence, capital P, as in the divine. All sorts of things occur to help one that would never otherwise have occurred. Whole stream of events, issues from the decision, raising in one's favor. All matter of unforeseen incidents and meetings and material assistance, which no one could have dreamed would have come your way. Whatever you can do or dream you can do, begin it now. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. Begin it now. Begin it now. The moment one definitely commits oneself, providence shows up too. Love shows up. Grace shows up. But it's a matter of walking through the discomfort. It's a matter of saying, hey, I said I'm going to do this thing here. And other things have come up in my life that maybe make it a little bit challenging. But you know what? Maybe that's part of the gift too. So let me stay in it. Let me stay in it. And let's stop that revolving door from spitting us back up and out. Let's stay in. Because it's only when we go to that level of commitment that transformation that we keep talking about, that I keep talking about, that every person who stands on the stage and speaks to you, all the books you've read, it's only when true commitment happens that transformation begins to take place. And we shift from a place of living from the worry and the negativity bias and all the things that come along with our human consciousness. We start to inform it from our spiritual consciousness. So when we live in a place of human consciousness, this is kind of what it looks like. I don't know if it's really tiny. We got to blow up these slides. But there's a figure and there's all kinds of questions. Who am I? Is my story I'm walking around with, my insecurities, my loneliness. Who am I without this? You know, it's all these questions and worries that we have that get bottled up inside of us. It's a state of feeling like stuckness sometimes in our human consciousness. But then when we also have our spiritual consciousness, and there's no way to really illustrate this, but this is the best image I could find. When we have our spiritual consciousness really, really in the forefront, it's this sense of unlimitedness. It's a sense of no matter what comes up, we may have an intellectual perception of the challenges and difficulties, but our soul remains at peace. We remain grounded in that place of knowingness that we don't have to wonder what we have to do. It will come to us. You know, I remember last week I said, you know, we need a word that's the opposite of worry. So we had worry was like the misuse of imagination. What is it when we properly use our imagination? And I can't believe it took me so long to come up with it. I'm a minister. I should know this. It's called faith. It's called faith. When we misuse our imagination, we're seeing the worst case scenarios. We're feeling the worst case things. We're imagining, here's what they're saying about me. Here's what they're thinking about me. You know, and we judge other people. That's misuse of our imagination. When we use our imagination properly and we see the highest and best outcome, we see that no matter what, it's our opportunity to stand in the presence of love and grace, be the presence of love and grace, and we see, even if we can't see, we just know that the optimal outcome is going to be there for all. That's faith. Faith. That's the opposite of worry. It's faith. And when we live from our spiritual consciousness, when we allow it to inform our human consciousness, because we don't want to get rid of the human consciousness, okay? It's kind of who we are. It's our personality. It's the things, you know, the fact that we can enjoy ice cream, right, is a result of the fact that we have human consciousness and taste buds and sensory perception. I don't want to take that away. I love ice cream, okay? I love all the things that come along with being human. I love riding my motorcycle and feeling the air. I love a lot of things. You guys love a lot of things that you wouldn't be able to appreciate without your human consciousness. Okay? But don't let the negativity part of it hijack you. Let the spiritual consciousness remind you that there is faith. And faith says when things become uncomfortable, difficult, challenging, I don't need to get back in the revolving door and leave the church. I don't need to leave the practices. I don't need to go run, buy the next book, find the next thing. I just need to have faith. And remember that the things I learn here, the things that Reverend Ogun keeps talking about, that he keeps repeating, why does he keep repeating them? He must need to learn them. He keeps repeating them. Yeah, that's part of it. It really is. It really is. I always tell people, I give the talks that I need to hear. If you guys are happy witnesses and you enjoy them, awesome. But yeah, I give the talks I need to hear to remind myself constantly. I mean, that's what this is. Awakening is remembering. And what does remember mean? To rejoin. Rejoin. Rejoin my human consciousness fully with my spiritual consciousness. So that when things disrupt me, when things kick me out of my comfort zone, I don't get scared and I don't lash out at others. What do I do instead? I breathe and I be a presence of love. There are no accidents. So every morning before church starts at 9 a.m., we have a Sunday service team meeting. You know, I sit down with operations director Peter and whoever's facilitating the service and our sacred service coordinator and the Sunday service coordinator, and we kind of like go through the service. And part of this, and part of opening this meeting, which we do every Sunday, and Peter started this, which I'm very appreciative of, because never let it be said, I don't have all the great ideas. Some of you who work closely with me know I even have a few bad ones. Thank you for letting me know when they're bad ideas. We read the Absolute Word by Reverend Paul Hasselbeck. How many of you are familiar with the Daily Word? The Daily Word magazine that Unity publishes. Reverend Paul Hasselbeck, he's a Unity minister. He also writes, I think, a slightly more intensely metaphysical version every few days. And today's Absolute Word was entitled Awakening. But here's the paragraph that I love from the whole thing. He says, as we move through our activities, we may be half conscious of our thoughts, feelings, and actions. Consciousness is awareness. When we are truly present and wholly engaged in each moment and every activity, we have a greater opportunity to perceive and experience spiritual awakenings and our spiritual nature. Consciousness is awareness. When we continue and we make that commitment to be fully conscious in every moment, then we continue to see what are the opportunities for me to show up as God, for me to see God at work here, an opportunity to connect with someone in pain, an opportunity for someone to comfort us in our pain, an opportunity to bring a smile to someone's face, an opportunity for someone to make us smile. But when we choose to ground ourselves in the humanness of ourselves and wanting it just so, rather than the spiritual consciousness that has infinite possibilities, we limit ourselves. We limit ourselves, and we cause others pain. So here's my invitation to you this week. Reaffirm your commitment. Recommit. Recommit yourself to your spiritual practices. Recommit yourselves to this spiritual community. I love it when things come together. Remember the A-Team? Who watches the A-Team? Remember the A-Team? Remember what the leader of the A-Team used to say? I love it when a plan comes together, because basically he had no plan and it just came together. It's no accident that today I'm talking about commitment, on Volunteer Appreciation Day. And those of you people who work in the office, they gave up a long time ago asking me give us your talk titles so we can plan things. They gave up on that a long time ago. Like Maura and I, we sit and we meet every other week to plan things out. And some days I'm like, you got this. I don't know what I'm talking about. But 3 weeks ago, I stunned her when I said, all right, here's the themes I'm going to cover for the rest of the year. Shocker. Right? Shocker. That doesn't happen often, but it really came to me, all right, we're going to talk about commitment, and it's going to be on this day. And then it was like, oh, yeah, it's Volunteer Appreciation Day. Well, that's wonderful. I love it when a plan comes together. But this is why it's a perfect day to talk about commitment, because the folks who volunteer here, and today, we want to really highlight those who have just in the past year. So if you have volunteered in here in the past year, so since last July, okay, whether it's for one day or it's been ongoing since last July, when you came in, the ushers asked if you did and you got a sticker. If you're wearing a sticker, just stand, please. Just stand. I from the bottom of my heart, want to say thank you. I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you. 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 Because what you all have, don't say it, what you've all demonstrated, is what I'm talking about today. Your demonstrated commitment to your transformation. Because I think you get it. You get that when you come and you give of yourself and you give of your time, not only does this place continue to exist and thrive, but you are transformed by it. And I think you get that that's the only way this world is going to be transformed. And I think you get that. And I know that those of you who are sitting and volunteered at other times as well, some of you volunteered at other times as well. If you've ever volunteered at any point in time, please stand as well. Anytime other than this year. Why is Heather sitting? Heather, I know you were, there you go. Yeah. So many of us have given countless hours, sweat. Some cases there were minor accidents and blood too. And I know tears. To this community. To this community. And I know you have benefited from it, even if at times it was a little uncomfortable. And I know I've been in some of those uncomfortable moments with you, and I love the fact that you still walked through them, and you still said yes. You still said yes to being here and giving and sharing and learning and growing. And I'm truly grateful. I'm truly humbled by it. So, for the rest of you, when you see these folks with the stickers walking around after service today, just tell them thank you. Thank you, so that we all have a place to come and share and celebrate. Okay, you can sit now. Thank you. So after service, we're going to be cooking out there. Everyone's welcome to come and participate. But a special thank you for those of you. Special thank you. And there's always more opportunities, always more room for more people to come serve, to come be in that commitment place, to come be next to someone else who's also walking this path with you. Because a lot of times, those are the people who, when you're going through the struggles, who, when you need a shoulder to lean on, those are the people that you end up talking to. Those are the people who end up holding your hand through it. These are the connections that you make here. This place is not just about coming to hear a speaker. This is a place of love And you're going to experience that when you walk side by side, serve side by side, share and give side by side with someone else. So again, thank you for all those who serve in this community. I am nothing without you, and I love you for it. Let's take this into meditation. Thank you. Let's take this into meditation. So as you get comfortable in your seats and you just take a deep breath, turn within. Breathe. Find that place deep within you that lies behind the worry, behind any fears. That place of deep abiding peace that sometimes it's difficult to find. But we know in faith that it is there, because it is the true essence of who we are. It is from this place that we draw the strength and the perseverance to remain committed to our soul's journey, to remain committed to our transformation. Perhaps for some of us, this has been the missing piece of our journey. That simple commitment. Commitment to love and be loved. The commitment to serve and be served. The commitment to give and receive. The commitment to stand in the midst of discomfort and challenge and say, I will be love. I will be grace. I will be peace. I will be the calm center of the storm. I commit to being the highest, grandest version of my Christ consciousness. I say yes. And we take this into the silence for a few moments. The yes of commitment to spirit, to love, to God. For a few moments in the silence. I commit myself to my ongoing transformation. I commit myself to the Spirit of God within, ever present. And we hold that intention and commitment for all the names in our prayer box today. That in the midst of their trials, their tribulations, they remember to commit themselves even more. With full commitment comes providence. And should we hold that intention for others, I invite you to say their name out loud. And saying their names, we commit to being part of their journey as well. Being in the presence of God for them, allowing them to deepen themselves in their spiritual consciousness and their transformation. This is our journey. For some of us, this might be the missing piece. This is why I wore my missing piece t-shirt today. This might be the missing piece for a full awakening. The commitment to stay in the practice, in the discomfort, in the grace. This is commitment. This is awakening. And so it is.
We are standing on holy ground. We are standing on holy ground. Spirit abides when love abides. We're standing on holy ground. We are standing on holy ground. We are standing on holy ground. Spirit abides when love abides. We're standing on holy ground. We are standing on holy ground. We are standing on holy ground. Spirit abides when love abides. We're standing on holy ground.
Oh, thank you, Reverend Ogun. Thank you, Maura. That was beautiful. Unity on the River also has prayer chaplains here. I'd like to take a moment to recognize the beautiful souls who volunteer as prayer chaplains here. Please rise if you are able. These wonderful people can meet with you for prayer or gratitude, or to simply sit in silence after service. They will hold your prayers and intentions in the strictest of confidence. They're in the corners, or they have white on. Also, if you are in need, we have home and hospital prayer chaplains that will do home visits for recuperation or hospital stays. Please see Reverend Annie Houghton or one of the home and hospital prayer chaplains today if you have questions. Are any home hospital prayer chaplains here today? If you are, please stand. Thank you. And now is the time in our service when we prepare our tithes and offerings. I'd like to remind our streamers that you can also join in the celebration of giving online with a credit card and Apple Pay. So please hold your offering and breathe into them the energy of abundance as we say our affirmation. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive.
Shoes and I boarded the plane. I touched down in the land of the Delta Blues in the middle of the pouring rain. And WC Handy, would you look out over me? Yeah, I've got a first class ticket, but I'm as blue as a boy can be. Then I'm walking in Memphis, walking with my feet 10 feet off of Beale, walking in Memphis. But do I really feel the way I feel? Saw the ghost of Elvis down on Union Avenue, and I followed him up to the gates of Graceland, and I watched him walk right through. Now security, they did not see him, they just hovered around his tomb. And there's a pretty little thing waiting for the king down in the jungle room. Then I was walking in Memphis, walking with my feet 10 feet off of Beale, walking in Memphis. But do I really feel the way I feel? They've got catfish on the table, they've got gospel in the air. And Reverend Green will be glad to see you when you haven't got a prayer. Boy, you got a prayer. Memphis. Plays piano every Friday at the Hollywood, and they brought me down to see her, and they asked me if I would do a little number. And so I sang with all my might, and she said, "Tell me, are you a Christian child?" And I said, "Ma'am, I am tonight." Walking in Memphis, walking with my feet 10 feet off of Beale, walking in Memphis. But do I really feel the way I feel? Walking in Memphis, walking with my feet 10 feet off of Beale, walking in Memphis. middle of the pouring rain, I touched down in the land of the Delta Blues. In the middle of the pouring rain.
I think he can sing. Let's go ahead and give thanks for these gifts. So if you turn within for a moment, find a place of gratitude in your hearts for all these gifts and tithes and love offerings given here. Also a place of gratitude for those who give online and those of us who are tithing as a class in the absolute abundance. We know that through giving of our treasures, we open ourselves up to even more abundant goodness of the universe. So we give thanks for what we receive, and we at Unity on the River, we tithe a portion of these back into the Unity movement, back into the Amesbury community. And in so doing, continue spreading the love, the light, and the abundance. And so it is. Amen. Thank you. Just a couple quick things I want to share. Our SCE event for August is going to be canceled for right now. If you had signed up and paid for class already, we'll be contacting you during the week to issue refunds. And last week I mentioned save the date for the women's retreat. It's going to be at the Genesis Spiritual Life Conference Center. If you are interested in that, even just find out more, but you're not clear if you want to attend yet, you want more info, please meet, where'd you go, Monica and Tina. Stand so folks can really see you. Monica and Tina are willing to meet with you in the wing room after service. That's that a ways. So even if you just want to get a little more information about that. Also, coming up soon, and I say soon because November really ain't that far away, our annual gala, our gratitude gala is coming up. And this year, Carol, where are you? Carol, please stand. Carol is our organizer for that, and we talked about commitment and service. She can use an extra hand with the organizing. You're coming in at a good time because she's pretty much done most of the work already. But there's still a lot of things we need to get in place. So if you are interested in finding out more and helping us do another awesome celebration gala at the end of the year, please see Carol. And also start thinking about some things you might want to donate to the silent auction, not the silent auction, to the auction. We have both silent and live auction. Yeah, we got two kinds of auctions going on. So some stuff, remember last week we talked about how everything you have has value. Now we don't want paper clips. Let me be clear, but there may be some things that you have, some experiences that you can share with people. For example, I know Sharon donated like a trip on her boat up the river, and people bid on that. And so, it may not be a thing you have, but an experience that you can facilitate. So give it some thoughts. Talk to Carol after service as well if you want to help out. And finally, I think I shared with you the Tibetan monks are coming to do the mandala here. That's going to be in September 10th through 16th. Oh, by the way, also mark your calendar for 16th. We have our annual health fair here again. But we need some help getting the word out about the monks. So if you go to our Spiritual Resource Center, we have some nice posters, big old posters. Each year grab like 2 or 3 posters and pin them up in your neighborhood stores, community centers, traffic poles, lights, light poles, if they let you do that in your neighborhood. Help spread the word about this place and about this gift of these Tibetan monks who are going to come during that week. And by the way, that week is also that Wednesday night we're doing World Day of Prayer here as well. So it's perfect. Love it when a plan comes together. Perfect that the monks will be here to help us celebrate that time. That's all I got. Gina.
All right, lots going on. At this time, we'd like to say thank you to the many people and the teams who contribute their time for Sunday Sacred Service. We send a heartfelt thank you to this week's angel, Jim, who on the spot yesterday helped with an emergency plumbing issue here. Thank you, Jim. The greeting team, the Sunday service team, and the altar team. Also, thank you to our awesome board members. Board members are available for answering questions or discussion after service. Board members who are in service today, could you please stand if you're here? Thank you. Thank you for your contributions. Also, thank you to those who make Wednesday night service happen each week. This week's 7 o'clock service will be hosted by Amy Jocelyn with music by Meg Rain. Please join them here on Wednesday night. And Reverend Ogun, did you have another one to add?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I got one more person I want to thank for his time of service. That's Frank Barron. I don't think he's in here because he's probably out making sure the festivities are ready. Frank has been serving as our sacred service coordinator for I think since February, and he wants to get some more time available for himself to do write-in and stuff, so he is relinquishing that role. So if there's anyone who wants to consider stepping into service to help others who serve here, please let me or Peter, operations director, know, or talk to Frank and he can send you our way. And there's also another volunteer that I want to acknowledge. She serves as prayer chaplain and she's been a facilitator, and today also happens to be her 60th birthday. And there's cake, Michelle. Oh yeah. Happy birthday.
All right. And now our celebration song, So Light.
I saw the light. guitar, Stevie Chigueras on the drums, and Mike Rowan on the bass. Thank you so much to my choir. Thank you so much.
And let's remain standing as we welcome in our children walking as the light. Gina.
Namaste. So we had a small group today. But we spent the time planning the Yankee Homecoming Parade float. Yay! So this year, we want more participants from you guys. We want you guys to come in and help and do it with us. This year, the theme of Yankee Homecoming is timeless traditions. So we picked the tradition of the Battle of the Bands as our float, which sounds kind of silly, but we're dressing everybody up as
80s rock?
Pretty much, yeah. Any famous rock star or rock person or musical person you wish to be. Like, we have a Britney Spears signed up, we have Jimi Hendrix, we get some real... we have an Ozzy Osbourne. We have some really cool things going on, and we would really...
I'll be Lenny Kravitz.
Please, by all means, yes.
Yes, I'm in.
Fantastic. So please, we want it's August 6th, and we're not going to have youth and family that day because we all have to be in Newburyport, starting the whole adventure.
Okay.
Judging's at 10:30, so it's gonna be an early morning, but a really fun morning. We would love somebody with a pickup truck to be our float, because as it stands right now, our float is Mark Schneider's little boat. Not exactly as rock and roll as we want it to be.
That's awesome.
But it's what we got. We're making it work if we have to, but we'd love more people and grown-ups, and however you want to participate, please come talk to us. August 6th.
August 6th. John, don't you have a truck? I'm volunteering you.
Oh, voluntold. For the win?
I'm inviting you.
Please?
I'm inviting
Yes.
you.
Thank you. Yay. Awesome. Fantastical. So we want everybody to come be part of it with us, and we're going to march strong.
Yes, indeed. Thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, so let's stand, take the hand of your neighbor, start thinking about your rock and roll costume. And remember, join us out in the back meditation garden for our volunteer appreciation cookout. What's happening? What am I missing?
Sorry, I think it's boys.
Okay. I am sorry. The kids are distracting me. Sorry. In a good way. In a good way. All right. Let there be peace on earth.
power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And we are richly blessed.
Have a great day.